just recently watched this one. I did not actually watch it until the Golden Globe nominations came out. Full disclosure, if you're coming on this review journey with me, you will find some themes that I have. There's some things that I like, some things that I don't like, some actors and actresses that I'm not a huge fan of. I think you should meet the first one. That's gonna be Selena Gomez. I know. Gonna get a lot of hate for that. She's the #1 followed person on social media. I get it. All those great things. I am a huge Disney adult, as you Stitch shirt here. He's a star. But I would say for Selena Gomez, she's one of those people I've just never really understood the hype behind her. Not a particularly great singer or actress, and I've seen her since Wizards of Waverly Place, Princess Protection Program, all those old Disney things, up until her stuff now, her current music, her current things. She's very good at getting in roles that have a really great supporting cast that build her up. Only Murders in This Building. This movie, Emilia Pérez, always surrounded by really great supporting characters. So that's my soapbox. I apologize. I just need to get that out there so you understand where I'm coming from when I discuss this movie and give it a prescription. And that's all that being said, I did enjoy the movie. Like I said, when I went into watching this movie, I actually did not know what to expect. I only knew that when it first came out on Netflix at the beginning of the year, it was going to be an award season darling. Everyone was talking about it. I knew that they would all be nominated for Best Main Actress or Best Supporting Actress in their respective roles. So first starting out, the movie really centers around, initially, Zoe Saldana's character, who's Rita Moreno Castro, and then Karla Sofia Gascon, who I've never seen before, and I'm really interested to see more from her. She did phenomenal. But her character, initially, she starts out actually as a crime lord in Mexico who seeks out Zoe Saldana's character to attempt to get help with a transition from male to female. It's been something that she's been wanting to do her whole life, and she's basically been living this alternate personality since she was a child. And they go really in depth with that as the movie goes along, because she has to get a psychiatric evaluation by the doctor to say, hey, is this something that you've always wanted to do? That kind of thing. But anyway, she seeks out Zoe Saldana's character because we first meet her at the beginning of the movie as kind of like a lower level lawyer working for a boss, and she's showing that she's the one doing all the brunt work and really making these cases a success. Emilia Pérez's character at that time, who is still the crime lord, notices this and enlists her to help her find a doctor to do her sex change, because she wants to do it obviously incognito, doesn't want anyone in her crime syndicate to know that this is happening, wants to escape, and also wants to leave her family, which includes Selena Gomez's character as well as their 2 small children. Zoe Saldana does succeed in this, finds a doctor. Emilia Pérez's character goes through with the change, sends her family, including Selena Gomez and the 2 kids, to go off to live in Switzerland. It's only later in the movie, about 4 years later, that Emilia Pérez shows up in London, finds Zoe Saldana's character, and says she can't live without her kids. So she enlists her again to get her kids, and they all go back to Mexico City under the guise that Emilia Pérez is actually the aunt of Selena Gomez's previous husband, who they believe to be dead, because at the time when he was still functioning as a male, he faked his own death and then returned as Emilia Pérez. So Emilia Pérez kind of reintroduces herself in society as this well-to-do, wealthy woman. Very Count of Monte Cristo-like, which is my favorite book, so I really enjoyed that part of the movie. Towards the end of the movie, when Selena Gomez's character falls for a just outside character, played by Edgar Ramirez, they decide to get married. Emilia Pérez does not like this. She goes back to her old ways. She gets her goons to go beat this man up. This man does not like this. He gets Selena Gomez. They kidnap Emilia Pérez. Zoe Saldana has to get her gang together, go find Emilia Pérez. There's a huge shootout. Selena Gomez gets in the car with Edgar Ramirez. They drive off a cliff with Emilia Pérez in the back. They all die. And as crazy as that sounds, it's exactly how it happens. They all die. Zoe Saldana is left with the 2 children of Emilia Pérez and Selena Gomez to raise. And it's interesting because at the beginning of the movie and towards the middle of the movie, the movie alludes to the fact that Zoe Saldana is lost in her work and has really missed out on having a family, but wants to find a partner, wants to have a family. She's just never been able to have that opportunity. And then towards the end of the movie, obviously, life gives her that, and these 2 children that she's spent so much time protecting and moving around that she becomes their caretaker in the end. So I thought that was a very roundabout circle of life moment. I would say overall, in terms of the performances, there were absolutely some standouts. Zoe Saldana was incredible. She did great. And just it's important to note for those of you that don't know a lot about this movie, it is mostly a Spanish language movie with subtitles. So Zoe Saldana, Selena Gomez, I'm going to get her name wrong so many times, Karla Sofia Gascon are speaking Spanish most of the movie, so it's usually subtitles. There are a few parts where it does go into English, like specifically when they're in London or when they're just kind of acting out. I would say, again, the standout Zoe Saldana, incredible. She actually surprised me. We knew she could act, but I didn't know she could act in tandem with having to do other things, such as because there were some dance numbers, there were some singing numbers, which I thought were excellent for what she was doing. A super believable character. She was very kind of a down and out, low level lawyer that kind of flourishes towards the end of being this beautiful entrepreneur that kind of helps people in Mexico City kind of find their loved ones who have been lost and missing persons towards the end of the movie. So I really think she did a great job. Also, Karla Sofia Gascon, incredible. Again, like I said at the beginning, I haven't seen her in a lot. I guess I found out from the Golden Globe she's the first transgender identifying woman to be nominated, which I think is amazing. She did an incredible job. Actually, I'm excited to see more things from her. I think this will be a stepping stone for her being able to do those types of things in big screen cinema. Of course, this came to Netflix, but this easily could have been a big screen movie, I feel like. Now to the third main character, who's getting a lot of praise award season. She's already been nominated for a Golden Globe. They all three have, actually. So Selena Gomez, Zoe Saldana, Karla Sofia Gascon have all been nominated. Two are very deserving. I'm just going to say it again. I'll get a lot of hate. I'll get a lot of flack for this, I'm sure. And I am biased, and I opened up the conversation with saying I was biased so you wouldn't attack me. I definitely was not moved by Selena Gomez's performance. I felt like it fell flat. I felt like she was trying to be a hard, edgy woman who's been through a lot. It always just translates to me like a Disney movie, honestly. I didn't feel it for her. I didn't feel it for the singing moments. I didn't feel it for the acting moments. Honestly, had she not been in the movie, it still would have been great. So I would say, I'm happy for her. I'm glad the Golden Globes are recognizing her. I'm sure she'll get the Emmy nods and the Oscar nods too, because that's usually just how it happens with the ball rolling down the award season hill. It's hard to stop. I do not believe she will win. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's gonna be Karla Sofia Gascon's to win in that category. Out of the two of them, I mean. Obviously, there's lots of other people in that category. My own other gripe with, this movie being put in the comedy musical category is going to be part 2 of my video, because this is just really a review of it, and I can go into what I feel like it's in the wrong category a little later. But again, I would say there were some standout performances here. Again, the actual plot, I didn't expect it. I didn't know what this movie was about. Watching it, I thought it was excellent. You feel for Emilia Pérez's character kind of throughout the movie. She talks about her whole life feeling like she was something that she wasn't and wanting to be these things, but because of when and where she was born, she was not able to. So I really felt for her in that moment, and really felt for Zoe Saldana's character, feeling this need to want to help her, to almost be this motherly character, because she never had any kids of her own, even though she was younger than this character, but being able to take on that just kind of role of supporting her and protecting her. Because initially, obviously, it was something that she was afraid and was being paid to do by a drug lord, but ultimately it's something that she fell in love with this person platonically and wanted the best for them. And in the end of the movie, they actually state to each other that they were like sisters, which I thought was a beautiful message. Overall, great movie. It had some downsides, which again, I'll talk about in a separate video in terms of the musicality of the actual movie. But the overall plot, the storyline, the acting, minus Selena Gomez, was excellent. I actually give it a 9 out of 10. I think you definitely should watch it. You're going to be hearing a lot about this movie award season, so at least just arm yourself with the information before you go into it saying, XYZ. At least see this movie, because you're going to be seeing this at all the major award shows. There's probably going to be some wins. I would say people you're going to see on stage giving speeches will likely be Zoe Saldana and or Karla Sofia Gascon. I don't think you'll see any from Selena Gomez. But I think there are some definitely standout performances in this movie. Prescription, like I said, 9 out of 10. Definitely watch it. And it's easy. It's on Netflix. You don't have to leave your house. Um, that's all I got for this one. Tell me what you thought of this review. Comment below, like, subscribe, and just look out for my second video where I'm going to talk about kind of the qualifications for what makes a movie a musical and a comedy and kind of the categories and how I feel like they could be better helped. Bye.